Hi, welcome to the Get Clients with Webinars bonus training. Now, I specialize in coaches, consultants, or professionals who've got a high ticket offer and they want to attract the right kind of clients online who are ready, willing, and able to invest in their high-end programs. Because of that, we need to be really clear about who we're targeting, about the offer we use, and about the product or service that we're going to use to deliver. But it's the same for you, even if you're selling low or mid-ticket. It's essential that you know who your client is, you have a really clear offer of what that they want to buy, and the key of an offer is it's got to attract them in and then make them want to buy it. It's not about what they need, it's about what they want. And then finally, you need a product that's going to deliver on the promise you made in the offer, deliver them what they need and what they want. So, one way of looking at this is it's a combination of what you do, who you serve, and how you're different. Or another way to put it is it's your product or service, your ideal client, and your unique offer. The intersection of those is your value proposition. That's how you are going to provide value to your customer. Now, we want to make sure that the way we communicate each of these is relevant to your clients. It's really specific and concrete, so it's very clear, and it's differentiated so that it stands out from other communication in the market. Okay, so let's go through each of these and have a look at how we can help our clients to see that we're talking to them, that we've got something they want, and that we're going to give them something they need if they work with us. All right, so first of all, let's look at the ideal client. We should always start here because the offer and the product or service need to be adapted to different clients. When we're marketing, we start with the client, then to the offer, and then to the product or service. So the ideal clients, who you serve, how do they see themselves? What are their goals and desires? And what are their fears and frustrations? Because in our marketing, we want to be able to help them move toward their goals and desires and away from their fears and frustrations. And we use those in our offer and description of the product to make them want to buy. So when we're communicating our offer, our unique offer, it's going to be about their goals, so they can get the thing that they want, so that they can have their, dreams and desires while moving away or avoiding their fears and frustrations. That's pretty much how you put a marketing message together. And in your product or service, that needs to address, how you do it. So the packaging of your product or service might be, accountancy services or business coaching, and so that will deliver what they need, but also avoid any objections that they have to buying. Because most of us, for example, with webinars, you might think, oh well, look, I like the idea of webinars, but I'm scared of technology and I don't like public speaking. So if I wanted to sell a product relating to webinars, it needs to be easy to do, even if you're bad with technology and are afraid of being on camera, for example. Okay, now the most important part of this, as I said, is getting really clear on your ideal client. And we usually do this by developing what's called a client avatar or a client profile. So in your client profile, you want to get clear about who they are, what sort of business or person are they, both demographically and psychographically. So that's sort of their name, age, business size, etc., but also their interests and desires. Where are they, and specifically, where do you find them? How will you reach them? This is the important part. How will you target them? How do they see themselves as well? Because if, for example, someone sees themselves as a business coach, and I use that language in my messaging, that's going to work really well. If they don't see themselves as a business coach, they're not going to respond to that. So you need to kind of find what is, an identity type label that they connect with, something like busy mums or, lawyers, that they might be things that people identify with. But if you use a phrase that might be accurate, but they don't actually identify with, it's going to be much less effective. We also want to look at their aspirations, their goals, their wants, their needs, and buying preferences. So we want to sell to them what they want to get them to where they want to go in a way that they like buying. And at the same time, we want to be helping them to move away or avoid their frustrations, fears, things they don't want and like, get over their challenges, and to be able to buy in spite of any objections that they have. So go through with your ideal client just to the best of your knowledge. Have a good think about it. It can be really useful to have a chat to a few of your ideal clients, if you've got some good clients or friends who fit your profile. And you probably want more space than this. You could easily write half a page on some of these, but just get started. Start writing down some ideas, because the more you can capture here, the better you'll be able to communicate later in your marketing. Okay, and then in formulating a value proposition, we want to put down, who you serve, what you do, and how you're different. And to flesh that out a bit more, when we're talking about who we serve, how do they see themselves? You want to address them by a phrase that refers to something they identify with. What are their goals and desires? What do they want? So you can say, are you a coach? Do you want this, but you struggle with this, or you're afraid of this? In your offer, which you make after you address them, you want to talk about how you're different and what they can get. So, do you want to achieve this so that you can have this, but want to avoid this? So that's where we pull in that information we've developed in our client avatar into our offer. And then when we're talking about our product or service, that's really addressing the need and the functionality of what we're going to do for them. So that might relate to how you do it, what they need, and also any objections that they have that might stop them buying. So if your product's particularly good at helping people who might not normally be able to use your class of product or service, that's really important to mention. Let's have a look at a few examples. So the first one is a business coach. In this case, it's a business coach, and they're a growth expert. That's sort of what they're specifically good at. But they're family friendly. So they're for businesses, that are owned by a family or owned by someone who's got children, and that's what they specialize in. And that helps them to stand out in the marketplace. That's what their product or service can actually deliver. And who they serve is business owners with kids who want to grow their business but still enjoy their work and maintain work-life balance. And so the way they do this, the way they package this into an offer, is to say, hey, come and learn how to grow your business on a family-friendly retreat in Bali. And we'll cater for the kids so that you can learn during the day, but the kids are entertained, and you can enjoy a family holiday at either end as well. So if I was a business owner with a family and that was really important to me, I would identify with their marketing and their positioning, and this offer would be very memorable. So even if there's another business coach who otherwise looks pretty much the same, this one would stand out as, oh, look, wouldn't that be awesome? Equally, they could say, hey, have a holiday away from the kids, and have some business intensive time. So, sometimes you can go either way with the messaging, but you need to be very clear as to what it is and express that in the offer. Okay, second example. This one is for a bookkeeper. They're also a qualified accountant, and what they specialize in is moving MYOB to zero. And their accountancy expertise helps with some aspects of that. Who they serve, they specialize in construction industries, $1 to $5 million revenue. Using numbers, qualifications, and other things like that in your specific part really helps get clear about who it is and who it isn't. And this bookkeeper likes working with family-owned businesses because they like dealing with the owner, and they're a bit more likely to want an external bookkeeper than a corporate who is more likely to have an in-house bookkeeper. And look, the way they've packaged their offer that's different from what everyone else is doing is that they migrate you from MYOB to zero, but they come into the office and they train your whole team so that your team can get straight back onto using the new system. Really important, obviously, when you've got payroll for lots of employees, and you've got to manage contractors and things there as well. So that might be a highly compelling offer to someone who is a really busy business owner and struggles to deal with their own bookkeeping to have their team trained. Okay, the third example is a veterinarian. Now, you might not know that I'm actually a vet. So in this example, it's a clinic and a cattery, and they only treat cats. That's how they're different. So their target market is cat lovers. they target a household income of $150,000 plus, and they see the cat as a family member, and that's a really key part of their marketing. And they tend to be different kinds of customers to people who just have the cat in the house and don't really think much about it. And what their offer is that's different from what everyone else has is that their clients tend to like to travel and feel really guilty about going away and leaving their pet behind. So they've got a holiday care package where they do boarding and also do any vaccinations or worming or dentistry that's needed. But they've got a camera and an iPhone app so people can be on holidays and check their cat is happy and being looked after when they're away. Now, if you're a family, so if you're a cat lover who's crazy about their cat and loves traveling, it's really easy to imagine that you would not only love a clinic like this, but you'd tell all your cat loving friends about it. So you can see how that offer is really powerful and immediately appealing, and something that you could do a webinar about how to travel with your cat, for example. So I want you to get your ideas down and have a think about how what elements of what you do would be particularly suitable for a webinar. So something that's relevant to your clients, is really concrete and specific and easy to educate and make a workshop or an education session around, but also it's different and interesting enough that it's going to get people's interest. And you need a product to sell off the back of that, otherwise there's not so much point. Okay, so you've got this page in your worksheet. You can download this and fill this out as well. And then at the end, you can just put it all together by saying, look, hi, I'm Dallas and I am a marketing consultant. I help coaches, consultants, and professionals who want to put on a webinar without feeling overwhelmed by the tech frustration. Now, I do this through a free online training so they can learn how to do webinars, even if they've never done one before and they're afraid of technology. So that could be my offer. But by switching who I serve, the goal, the fear of frustration, between different elements that you've already identified in your target market, you can come up with a heap of offers and test different ones out. And so, when I'm running a webinar, or any promotion, I split test these things in Facebook ads. I split test different offers and fears and results. By getting a list, you can really quickly formulate an offer and a marketing message and then quickly test it against the market. And if people are responding to it, you're on a winner and that you should be doing more of that sort of thing. If people aren't responding, go back to the drawing board. So there is no perfect, there is no right answer. Get out there and have a go. Start with the client worksheet and then fill in your value proposition diagrams, and then try coming up with some of these little pictures, PITCH. So you put together a short elevator pitch like this that you can use in advertising, brochures, marketing, networking, wherever you want. So that's the introductory training. If you do this before the webinar, you'll really be able to go in there, come away with a clear plan of the webinar that you want to put on. And I'm pretty much going to give you everything you need to go out and get started with webinars in the free training. So I'll see you on the How to Get Clients with Webinar training. Really looking forward to it. Thanks for your time today, and I'll see you in the next video.